Everybody, welcome to the Starfield stream. I guess the Starfield discussion stream. There is no Starfield being played during this stream.
There's no what?
No Starfield being played during this stream.
Yeah, I was gonna try that, but I forgot.
Hey, it's all good.
But I'm sitting in the cockpit of the Frontier. What in the world are you doing?
I'm checking. What the heck? Okay, I was checking to make sure the audio was coming through, and every single channel that I'm subscribed to that is live was coming through the volume at once. Very startling. Literally like 15 different videos playing at the same time.
Wait, is it working?
Yeah, no, our volume's coming through fine. Yeah, we're good.
All right, so we're still learning how to do this, obviously, but we just we're trying to stream this live right to YouTube. We've not done that. We usually just record it. So hopefully the quality is also not bad because my internet decided to like crap out at the last second.
Looks fine to me.
Should be
fine.
Like
I said, had it up, looked all good. Put it down because all of the videos are coming through, but we're chilling.
Nice.
All right. Anyway, tonight we're going to be talking all things Starfield. We both had, the advanced copies of the game from the. All right. We both had the advanced copies of the game from our pre-orders on. And we've been playing for the past day or so. You want to check out the beginning of my journey, you can check out the stream that should have gone up on the YouTube channel earlier. I might stream some more tomorrow. We'll see. I've gotten a little bit further. But today we're going to talk about just some initial impressions, things we like, things we dislike. And yeah, just kind of how we're finding the game so far.
Cool. I'm not going to leave this up.
You don't want the adoring fan in the background the whole time? How do I rename myself?
What do you mean, how do you rename yourself? What's wrong with that name?
I can't rename myself. I don't have control over this. Anyway, you want to start with okay. Yeah, so
this podcast already derailed.
Let's just start. We're gonna, because you put that there. I have to tell the story. I can't not tell the story.
Yeah, go for it. It's good. It's a good way to start this.
We'll start it with the discussion of some things, the very few things about the game I found that I don't like, before we go into the things that I do like. So for the drop the landmine, right? I had accidentally drawn my weapon in New Atlantis, walking around the city with whatever the companion's name is, Sarah Morgan, and accidentally just, trying to put my weapon away, pulled out a landmine, put it on the ground. I'm like, oh, well, interesting. And then I walked away because it didn't seem to be going off. There's no enemies. I didn't think the landmine would go off, And like 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, everyone starts attacking me, and it gives me, notification that I killed like 15 people, and I have a bounty of like 125,000 credits. I'm like, what on earth? And I got stuck in a loop because I could not, I couldn't get back to my ship. I couldn't get to a kiosk to pay off my bounty. I was just stuck. I had to restart the game entirely. Because this landmine went off and I hadn't made a backup save. But, whatever. That's, mostly my own stupidity, though. I'm not necessarily going to put that on the game. What I will put on the game is, I haven't even discussed this with Matt yet. They just, they hit me with a bit of railroading. Flying around,
Railroading.
yes, I'm flying around, minding my own business, right? And I go to, I'm doing this quest line about this tree that this guy is studying this tree on in New Atlantis, and part of it requires me to go to another planet, pick up a branch of a different tree, and bring it to him. So I'm coming back, and on my way back, a random United Colony ship decides to stop me, plants contraband on my ship, me, and forces me into the Crimson Fleet storyline. And because it's not volunteered like you did, I cannot leave until I finish it.
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
not a fan of that.
We should have volunteered.
The Crimson Fleet storyline is fun. I'll give you that. But I'm not a fan of being forced to do it. I still have this tree branch on my ship that I'm trying to get to the dude on New Atlantis.
That's amazing.
I just want to go back to exploring. They keep making me fight stuff.
So I'll tell a story. This is
All
a
innocent
really
people.
story. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. To get into the pirate gang, you have to go kill a dude on a ship. And I decided to try to persuade the captain of the ship to give up the specific dude, and it failed. I tried my first persuasion option, which was the easy one, and it gave me an immediate critical failure, and the conversation failed, and the crew attacked me, and I had to kill all of them, and it was very sad.
That checks out.
And now I'm in real bad with the United Colonies. They're like, you do something like that again, we're coming to kill you ourselves. I'm like, oh man, I'm just trying to deliver a tree branch.
So I was exploring on my ship before I got on this, and I went to talk to Adoring Fan, who is a crew member on my ship, by the way. He's amazing. And I figured out how you kill him, or how you can kill him. There's numerous ways in which you can either banish him off the ship, or there's an option where you can just straight up attack him and say you need to be like exterminated or something.
Good lord.
I didn't do that. But Lucas is a scrub because his only crew member that he recruited he has to pay. I don't have to pay Adoring Fan.
Yeah, I had to pay him.
Adoring Fan's payment.
That was kind of amusing, actually. I'm walking around on the capital of the Freestar Collective, and walking around, and I just find this dude outside the bar, and he's got a name. You know, he's not just a citizen or guard. He's got a name. His name's like Amani or something, or Omari. I'm sorry. And I walk up to him. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, yeah, I've been looking for work for a while. Had some work, manning Starship systems on like the trade lanes. He's like, I'll be willing to work for you. And I'm like, oh, cool. He's like, but I have a family to feed. I need a salary. And I was like, okay. I wonder what the salary is going to be like. He's like, oh yeah, it's only 18,000 credits. And I was like, that's a lot of credits. I don't have 18,000 credits, so I guess I had to persuade him to bring it down a little bit. And I succeed. And he drops the salary down to 9,000 credits. I'm like, bro, just took a 50% pay cut because I was like, yeah. literally, the persuasion option I used on him was, when are you going to get a better offer than this? He's like, yeah, okay. That's fair. I've lost your volume. Matt, yeah, you're not. I've lost your volume. You're not coming through anymore.
Whoops, I muted it. I'm sorry. I was trying to see. I was checking on the stream to make sure it was good on that end. But it sounds great. So,
yeah.
But that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm like,
so
I
don't know. I'll say this could kind of bring us into our first point almost, that like pretty much everything you've just described I've not done, and I've played for, I think I'm up to like 10 hours, maybe a little over 10 hours. I've not done most of the stuff that you just described. And I think that speaks to how absolutely vast this game is, and how like there's just so much stuff to do and so many different things you could do. Like, I have done hardly anything on the main quest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can bust right through it from what I heard. Like, I heard you could theoretically bust through the main quest in like 20 hours. But I've done like, I went to like the Constellation Lodge, and that's about it. So
I think you're missing the point. If you just bust through this, the main story, and just do, just, unless you're trying to speed run the game or whatever, I think you're missing the point if you do that.
Yeah, I agree. This game is a lot about exploration, and there's so much stuff to do and see, especially with like all the factions and stuff. But yeah, so I don't know. what do you want to talk about first? This is kind of supposed to be a spoiler-free review, and to emphasize that this is spoiler-free. We're not going to like talk about anything because obviously this game has only come out for early access people. It's not even had its full launch yet. But B, it's been out for less than 24 hours. Well, okay, 26 hours now. So we're not going to spoil things.
Let's start with something that I both really like and have some concerns about, and that's how you pick up side quests. So that's almost exclusively what I've done, and I haven't done the kind of things that Matt done. Like he said, I don't think we've done a single of the same quests, except for this Crimson Fleet quest that I've been forced into. And even I'm having a different experience because he went through the Goody Two Shoes route and, signed up for the military and did all that. And I'm over here like press ganged into doing it and being forced to. Anyway, regardless, it's neat to me that you can just like walk through New Atlantis and just like hear people talking about stuff, and it like prompts you to go pick up those quests. Go find those quest lines. And I think this is really cool. I do think it becomes problematic, though, in the sense that, I just walking through New Atlantis the first time, by the time I got through it the first time, I had like 7 leads to follow up on. I'm like, bro, I don't, where do I start? I don't know.
Yeah. But, I agree. I think it's a very dynamic world, where the game is very dynamic. And everything, not only from quest design, but like there's dynamic weather, and like if you go out, I noticed this earlier, if you go out into space and like let's say Jennison, which is the like main planet with New Atlantis, it's like whatever side of the planet is facing the sun in its rotation at that time is what side of the planet is going to be sunny when you land there. Like, right. It's not just like a stagnant planet. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I really appreciate dynamic worlds like that. I think that lends itself a lot to realism, and a lot to just like immersion.
Yeah, I agree. I like the fact that, again, I haven't done much exploring outside of New Atlantis. Actually, of my probably close to 8 hours of playtime now, I'd say 7 of it took place in New Atlantis. But yeah, it's just, I really like it has dynamic weather and dynamic day-night cycles. I think that's really cool. Different people walking around at different times really, really adds to the immersion in a way I haven't seen anything else do before.
I agree. Sorry, I was checking something real quick. All right. But yeah, no, I agree. I'm trying to think. You know what else I will say that I really like about the game is the sheer level of what I would consider to be polish. I mean, Bethesda specifically has a pretty big reputation of being Bugthesda, and I don't know. I would say Bugthesda's kind of dead with this game. Like, and I mean that in like the most positive way possible. Like, if there's any bugs, it's like visual bugs, and it's extremely minor. Like, it does not impact the gameplay at all.
See, I have actually had a slightly different experience in that regard.
Oh, really?
I encountered 2. They weren't huge, but I did encounter 2 things that I would consider pretty decent-sized bugs. One during one of the early missions where I was following or toting around Vasco, the robot, and there were enemies literally shooting him in the face, and he was just like looking at me and talking to me, and he's like, "I detect no enemies in the area," and he's like, just not in combat protocol, and they're literally shooting him in the face. And then just companion pathfinding in general, I have found is not that good. Like, any given moment, I can turn around and my companion is like 200 yards away from me. Like,
that's true. I have
stuck on stuff or like wandering. I don't know if that's necessarily a bug or just games need to give up on having companions
I think
in our overall setting.
That's probably just bad AI pathing, honestly, because I've had that with a lot of other games that have.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think that's a Starfield problem specifically. I've never had a game with companions where the companions didn't randomly get stuck on like a rock or whatever.
Yeah, makes me wonder why that is though, because like the Old Republic has that problem super bad. Mass Effect kind of to a lesser extent, but one thing I wish you could do with companions is like, I think you mentioned this earlier when we were live streaming. like command them, like tell them to go attack a certain enemy, because I think that would help with that problem.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it would. As of right now, they're extremely competent.
yeah.
So I got to give props there. Like the AI actually fights efficiently.
Yeah.
I did a mission where there were two like enemy factions fighting each other, and I just decided to test out if they would fight each other without me entering, because to point back to like the example of something like the Old Republic or other open world games where you come across enemies fighting, they're fighting but not actually doing damage to each other. They're waiting for you to intervene. Like in this case, the enemies did like actually kill each other until one side came out on top, which I thought was a really cool thing. Another thing that really adds to like the dynamism and the realism of the game is that you know you're not the only agent acting on this world, that and the AIs actually have agency of their own. Which I thought was pretty cool.
How do you feel about the UI? And I have a reason for asking that.
Which UI in specific?
You what?
Are you talking about like what UI are you talking about specifically?
I'm just talking about like the AI, like the UI in general, like when you're navigating menu, like design of it, like when you're navigating menus, like do you think it's seamless? Do you think it's clunky?
I think the game overall, like the word I would use to describe the game so far has been seamless. Like it flows super easily. It doesn't feel obtrusive. The menu fits well with the aesthetic of the game. I have no problem with the UI.
I don't either, and the reason I asked that is because I saw and this was probably the biggest complaint that I saw when the review embargo lifted on Friday before I actually got to play the game, was that the UI was really clunky and confusing. And maybe it's just that like you're somebody who plays like Paradox games, which have really complex UI, and I play other RPGs which have naturally more complex UI, like as far as video game UI goes. And I just didn't get that. Like I feel like the UI makes enough sense. And I mean, could it be cleaned up? Sure. Could it be streamlined a little bit? Sure. But like if it wasn't, or if it was like never touched again, I wouldn't complain. I think for as complex as a lot of the systems are, and for as like the sheer amount of stuff that you can do, I think the UI makes sense. It doesn't feel, personally for me, it doesn't feel overwhelming. I could see though, if you're somebody who doesn't play a lot of RPGs, and like this is like your first one because you're just wanting to play because of how hyped the game was and because it's a big Xbox exclusive or whatever, I could see where maybe you would be a little bit like overwhelmed almost, but I don't think it's a problem. I will be curious to see if they do anything with the UI.
I think largely nothing needs done to it. The one area where I will say I could see large room for improvement is the galaxy map. Trying to navigate between the different planets that are, one, mostly unlabeled, and two, like the menu scrolls at like a snail's pace, and trying to select the individual planet, that is a pain. Like I do not enjoy using the galaxy map at all.
I don't.
The system map is fine, the planet map is fine, but the galaxy map is horrendous.
Yeah, no, I honestly hardly ever go in the galaxy map. Like pretty much if I need to go to a planet, like I just go in the mission tab and select like mark the planet through there, because like you said, it's too slow and it's a little too complex. But yeah, I think that's probably the most confusing part. Other than that, like I don't think it's too bad. I mean, it is a learning curve. I mean, I'm still getting used to some of the things, like how you have to hit left bumper so that you can see like the different parts of a planet when you're flying up, so that like, okay, this is where I need to land. Like that's a little bit
entering scanning mode was the hardest thing for me to remember how to do. Is doing that, and that is one thing I wish was a little bit different in the ship. It feels, because I don't know if you've played with ship modification at all, with the different like weapon systems you can put on.
Like for 5 minutes, I just looked at it.
Okay, so I bought a couple different like weapon systems and whatever. So right now I have 2 laser cannons and a particle cannon. Like I don't have a missile system on there, and you can slot them into whatever button slot you want. So you got your right trigger, your left trigger, and your Y. The Y button is just a horrible place to place anything other than a single fire weapon, because to fire it you have to take your hand off of the right stick, and it just does not make sense for me to not have that map to like left bumper or right bumper.
Mhm.
Especially in space, the right bumper is not doing anything.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's not mapped to that right bumper just feels clunky.
Yeah. No,
I don't know
I
why I
agree.
decided to have that particular comment come out right now, but it was in my head.
No, I mean, I agree. I agree with that. I kind of noticed that there was like no reason for the right bumper at all. Like
No,
it just
the right bumper does nothing, and
no.
it with hold on, my wife tells me I need to change the colors on my lights.
Heck yeah, there you go.
Get some blue in here. Like with the like when it was a map to missiles, it was fine because the missiles, they're homing missiles. They don't. It doesn't matter if you can't aim for a second. But when I have a assault cannon equipped to it, it's clunky and it doesn't work very well.
Yeah. I wonder if the right bumper is mapped to something and we just haven't unlocked it yet. Because like I'm still trying to figure out how you can equip multiple weapons and swap between them, and I could maybe see that being the right bumper's functionality. But
yeah, another thing I noticed, and let me get this out here. I'm really enjoying the game. I think the game's great. But the things that stick in my mind are the things I don't like. So I'm going to go through this. One common theme I've noticed is when you like are doing a space mission where you're like tracking people down or whatever, and you come out of hyperspace, like a lot of them, the enemy is just right there, which isn't necessarily a problem. Like I don't necessarily want to have to spend a whole bunch of time chasing them, but since you have to allocate power to your jump drive, like you're then forced to try to allocate that power out and into another system like mid-fight, and that's just very difficult.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And
Because
like,
a lot of times, like I completely disable all my weapons when I'm like not expecting a fight, because twice now I've accidentally hit the right trigger and shot like a Freestar Collective ship, and then people got mad at me, and then Sarah said she hated me and she wouldn't be a part of murdering these people. And
yeah, that is my main complaint with the game, and it's not necessarily even a complaint, but like it's very unforgiving. Like I picked up a cup one time and I got a bounty. Like, bro, I'm sorry that I took your $2 cup of coffee. I will pay the $100 fine, but it's like it doesn't.
$100 fine for
Yeah, it was like $100 for this cup, and I'm like, it's either that or go to jail, I guess. Like, and it's like, it's punishing in that way.
Yeah.
And it's punishing in some other ways too, and I can see why. Like they've taken a lot of lessons from Skyrim, I think, which is not necessarily a bad thing because that's one of the most wildly popular games of all time. But like weapons, for example, there's like 10 different classes of weapon that all use different kinds of ammunition.
Yeah.
And the enemies do not drop ammunition for the weapons they're carrying. Like if they drop any ammunition at all.
Yeah.
In a game where it's melee focused, like Skyrim, and you're just picking up arrows once in a while, that's not too bad. But like, if you run out of ammo in this game, you're screwed. Like,
yeah, that
you do have an axe, but they will kill you before you get in the range.
Yeah, that's kind of on the ammo discussion. So I've noticed it maybe gets a little bit better as you progress, but yeah, a lot of times you'll pick up ammo for a weapon that they're not even using, or like you said, not at all. Sometimes you do pick up ammo for that same gun, but I don't know. I feel like the ammo cost needs to go down. Like in general, because it is very expensive. And I mean, I don't know, maybe that's because later in the game you start making a bunch of money, which from the videos and stuff that I was watching today, like apparently that is the case. You do make a lot of money, like as you go through faction quest lines. So maybe that's to help balance out the economy. I don't know, but at least at the beginning, that seems like a kind of a problem.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I'm all for resource management. It just feels excessive. Like, I like Destiny likes to, they have just 3 different ammo types. You have your regular, you have your energy, and you have your rockets or whatever. Like,
yeah,
that feels like it would fit better here.
Yeah.
because they don't give you enough ammunition to the point where you can just specialize in like 2 or 3 types of weapons. You have to carry like 6 or 7 different types that use different kinds of ammo because the vendors only carry so much ammo. Like the only ammunition vendor I have access to sells me like 200 bullets at a time, and that's not close to enough to get through one mission.
No, not at all. Speaking of ammo and resource management and inventory management, for those of you who have not played the game yet, this may be a positive for you, this may be a negative for you, but there is encumbrance, which if you're new to RPG games, that basically means that there is a limit to how much you can carry. And if you go over that limit in Starfield, at least, it is very punishing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you go over it by like, I think the starting limit, depending on, I mean, assuming you don't pick a class that gives you a higher limit, but the starting limit for me was 140 kilograms. And the minute I went to 141, and it was literally 141, it like insta drained my oxygen. Like I couldn't run more than like 5 steps, and even when I wasn't sprinting, it was depleting. Which then that starts increasing your CO2 levels, and then once your CO2 levels get too high, then your health starts going down, so you could quite literally get yourself killed almost instantly for being encumbered. So that is a thing. Some people might like that, some people might not. I mean, it is what it is. I feel like you kind of get used to it. But
well, and something I found helpful to help mitigate that is I found that almost half of my capacity was being taken up by like minerals. So I found your ship can carry like up to 500 kilograms or whatever of the minerals. So I found that just after every mission, I just dump whatever it is in the ship cargo hold. And then as that gets full, you can move it to your personal cargo hold. But I agree. It is really punishing to just accident, especially if you pick up something heavier. Like I picked up a spacesuit off a guy and it was like 30 kilograms. I was like, wow, there goes a fifth of my carrying capacity. Like, I'm lugging this around.
I'll be honest, like I wouldn't do it my first playthrough, most likely, but once mod support starts getting more significant, that probably would be one of the first mods I downloaded, was to remove item weights. Because I mean, it's nice. I don't know, it gives more immersion, I guess, but like it's just kind of annoying. I don't know, like
it's one more thing to manage.
Right, it's one more thing to manage, and it's super punishing if you go over it. Now, I did also figure out that you can give, and this is I think this was in Skyrim and Fallout, that you can give your companions that are with you on missions, if you talk to them and hit trade gear, you can give them stuff, so they can carry a bunch of stuff too. But I don't know. I guess it kind of works both ways, because stuff that you collect, like if you start collecting a bunch of weapons and stuff, like obviously you're not going to need all those, so you can sell them, make some money off of it. That's kind of what I've been doing.
Yeah, that's my main income source right now, is the weapons from people I kill.
Yeah, I've been trying to save up for the one new ship, but that I really want. What did you say it was called? Like the Shield Breaker or something?
Shield Breaker, yeah, the big
Shield Breaker. It's super epic, but it's really expensive. It's like 250,000 credits.
Oh, it comes with it comes with 4 laser cannon slots and
nice.
and 2 missiles. So it's just it breaks shields and then it breaks the ship. I do wish there was a more reliable way to target subsystems on enemy ships.
Yeah,
because the only way to board an enemy ship is to take out their engines, and I have managed to do that one time on like a tiny little pirate fighter. Yeah, it's the only way you can board them is if you take out the engines. And
I didn't know you could board a ship, to be honest.
Yeah, you have to take out the engines. You have to take out the grav drive. So if you notice, sometimes you'll be shooting at them, like little red statuses will pop up underneath. If you manage to disable the engine and the grav drive. But again, you can't target those things. It just kind of is like a random roll when you shoot at it. So I wish there was a more reliable way, and maybe there is later in the game. But right now it's like, just a crapshoot of like, okay, I'd really like to at least take a look at this ship, and nope, no luck. The engines weren't damaged.
Keep in mind, a lot of the things we're talking about, like there could be skills for it too. We just may have not discovered it.
My character is a science build character. Like all my points are in scanning. I don't have combat skills. Well, no, I do have lasers up to level 3. My skill in laser weaponry. I don't know if that counts ship lasers or not, but
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of skills in the game that you can like upgrade things and get better things, and so I mean, there's stuff that we definitely have not explored because it takes a long time to level up skills. But
yeah, 2 weeks from now we'll return to this topic again and discuss it.
Yeah.
How far I've gotten in the game.
Yeah,
But yeah, for right now, that just feels a little. And again, don't want to bash on the game too hard. I'm really enjoying it.
oh yeah, no, this is an amazing game.
I'm loving the diversity of the quests and that they all give you like a decent amount of experience. Like,
yeah,
there was a quest to just bring this poor like station hand sweeping a subway deck to go to a cappuccino shop and bring her a cappuccino, and that gave me enough experience to level up. She was super happy, and I was like, "Oh, look, yeah, I did."
And you got milk from the garbage.
I did get milk from the garbage. That's what she gave me as a reward. But she's like, "Here, I bet you can use this." And it was just milk, and I was like, "Okay, great."
Yeah,
I don't think I can use that, but thanks.
It's just a fun game. I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be for sure a contender for. I mean, I think it's early to talk about it, but for sure a contender for Game of the Year. I could see that.
Contender, but it's not going to win.
You don't think?
No PlayStation port, no win. That's again real early to be talking about Game of the Year, but no, I don't think it has a chance because it's not available on PlayStation.
Yeah, maybe that's fair. I don't know, but it is a really good game. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I cannot wait to play more in a little bit. That's basically what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the night. And I'm currently sitting in Mars under some underground base because I didn't want to pay the 3,000 credit. I'm getting sent on more debt collector missions. I worked for the bank to go on a bunch of debt collector missions, and then I met somebody else, and it was a debt collector mission. Then I met somebody else, and he's like, "Oh, collect this dude's debt." I'm like, "I'm done. I don't want to do it." So I don't know. I talked to some people in the bar, and dude was like, "Here, you don't have to actually pay the debt. Here's another option for you." So
yeah, I did one debt collector mission to the one to get into the Crimson Fleet, and I felt really bad about it. Like. Went in and this dude was like trying to scam me, hustle me. No, I don't have the money. I don't know what you're talking about. And so I had to be like, listen, man, this dude, he's going to go after your family. And the dude's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I never thought about that. Here, I got the money. And I was like, I don't want to be doing this. I just want to be exploring strange new worlds. Like, all I want is to deliver this tree branch. And instead, let me tell you what, I'm getting out of United Colony Space as soon as I can. Like,
no,
I have been unjustly arrested and forced into service for something that they planted on my ship. I'm going to the Freestar Collective. Don't care.
Oh, that well. All right. Bro's going full Star Trek with exploring strange new worlds. But yeah, it's cool to do exploration. Exploration is a big part of the game for sure. I've not even like really tapped the surface of it. I know you've done more of that than I have.
I really haven't though. Like I've only been to like 3 planets. I've literally been spending most of my time on New Atlantis and trying to gather resources to go explore. And the one time I leave the planet, I get arrested on my way back in. I'm like. All right, United Colonies. Let's see how it is.
Oh man, I don't know anything else you want to talk about. It's hard to like go into too many specifics because I don't want to spoil anything. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I'll just say that I really enjoy the game. Like I am having so much fun with it. I've only played maybe like an hour of Skyrim in my entire life in total, and probably like 2 or 3 of Fallout 4. So this is kind of a new experience for me. But it definitely makes me want to go like play Skyrim and Fallout again if this is how it is, just for the heck of it. Is it absolutely perfect? No, but I would say it's pretty darn close for what it is. I think this was something that Xbox desperately needed in terms of exclusive content. Xbox has needed more exclusive games for a very long time, and I think this is going to be hopefully at least a springboard for a lot more good things to come.
Mhm.
But I don't know. They should be very proud of themselves for the game they made. And this is a testament. As annoying as game delays are, I think that it was probably worth it because, like, it was kind of hard seeing how many times this game got delayed. But
Mhm.
to look at it now and like how polished it is and how beautiful it is, like, I think
Yeah,
it was
like
worth
this,
it.
the game worked way better than like say Jedi Survivor when it came out. Like I mentioned, a couple annoying bugs, but they're not like game breaking bugs.
Yeah.
So I have to, credit where credit's due. The game works as it should, and I'm enjoying it. I have, you know, complaints and concerns, and that's just if you listen and continue to listen to our podcast. I'm not a negative person, but the things that stick in my mind are the things I don't like before the things that I like.
Yeah.
And I have a complaint, or I have a tendency to talk about those things first. So don't let my perception, especially early in this video, make you think that I'm not really enjoying the game, because I am. I just think there's some things that could be better.
Well, and here's the thing: like, even the things we said are like negative are very minor in the grand scheme of things. Like I would honestly probably put this game at like an 8.5 or 9 out of 10 so far. Like, it's that good. But there are like little things that I'm hoping they improve over time, and hopefully we see. And here's the thing that I think is important to mention: that in true Bethesda fashion, this game is going to have good mod support. They've already confirmed that even for consoles.
Mm-hmm.
So even if like there's something that the community doesn't really like that Bethesda doesn't fix or whatever, because they for whatever reason, people are going to be able to fix that through mods. And regardless if you're playing on Xbox Series S, Series X, or PC, they're going to have mod support for all three. PC has it technically right now, which there's already mods coming out for this game. It's been 25 hours. I don't know how that's even possible. But
those people
they're
haven't
good.
slept in 25 hours. That's how.
But people are going to be able to fix things. So like the thing that we were talking about with like the galaxy map, like I could 100% see somebody making a mod for that, like to clean that up or maybe like alter it in a certain way. Like, so if people don't like it, they can download the mod.
That needs more than cleaned up. It needs a complete overhaul.
Yeah, I agree. So, and of course you're going to get mods in the future with like making new planets, putting in more weapons, putting in more characters. Like, I mean, when you look at the stuff that people have been able to do with games like Skyrim, like I had a friend tell me that like they're literally making like an entire new game in Skyrim modders, which I don't even know how that's possible, but people are doing it. Like Starfield, I mean, the potential's limitless, I think, and I'm really excited to see
the
what they're gonna
potential's
do with
limitless, and the game itself is it cannot be understated how much content there is. Like,
yeah,
I legit think it's going to take me 2 or 3 playthroughs before I would even consider a mod, because there's just so much stuff.
Yeah, no, the
so
game
many
does
different
not
ways
need
to play.
mods. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. The game does not need mods. Like, if you're watching this and like you're thinking the game is like lacking without mods, no. Like, if mod support never came, it would still be fire. This whole game. So don't worry about that. And then there's stuff to keep you busy forever.
Consume the United Colonies here once I'm done with it.
Wait, say that again.
Fire is going to be what consumes the United Colonies when I'm done with them.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm just gonna go explore, and as long as they feel well, we're gonna be chill.
Oh, the other thing I was gonna bring up, I was gonna do a video about this tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to, because you kind of included it in your live stream, and I don't think it's like complex enough to do a whole video about. I think you covered it well enough. But the character creator, I thought the character creator was pretty good. I like how you can make it detailed with like backgrounds and traits and how that like impacts your gameplay. I thought the character creator like visually was also very good. I thought it was cool. I wish there were certain parts of it, like hairstyles. Like I wish there were more hairstyles. It's like a constant complaint of mine in RPG games, but it's good though.
You're just impossible to please. But I agree. I think it was good overall. The one thing I found was lackluster was like the actual like body modification.
Yeah.
Like they had that wheel thing, but the differences between the different body types are like almost imperceptible. Um, so that I feel like could have been a little more dramatic. But
Dramatic.
overall, I enjoyed it. Like, there's a ton of detail you can go in on the face.
Yeah.
But, and you rarely see your character's face in Starfield. Like, they don't show your face in conversations. They do have that like weirdly, it's a Bethesda thing that like I've never really played a Bethesda game, and it like freaks me out when I'm talking to someone and they're just staring directly at me through the screen. I'm like, all right, bro, this is weird. I'm not. I ain't used to this. Like,
that'd be like this. We have a mission for you.
I know. That's precisely it. Another mild irritation I have is when I have to talk to a person and they're like engaged in another like side conversation that I don't care about, but I have to wait for that side conversation to be done, like finished, before I can talk to them. Which, immersion, but it's like sometimes it takes like a significant amount of time, and I'm just standing here like,
yeah,
can we chat now? And I like click on him, and it's like, this individual is busy, and I'm like, I'm busy.
And it's also the classic RPG trope. Nancy said that's just called manners. Okay.
Nancy's my wife, by the way, for those of you who don't know.
What's your favorite NPC you've interacted with? This guy right here. This one right here. My man.
My favorite NPC that I've interacted with so far is the conspiracy theorist outside of the mast tower. I'm really disappointed I didn't take his quest line further. I kind of like screwed it up right at the beginning and handed in his contraband, and because I'm trying to be a rule-following citizen, although United Colonies doesn't care and just arrests you anyway. But I'm trying to be a rule-following citizen and handed his contraband, and the dude was just like, all right, yeah, whatever. I guess I don't need you, and walks away. And I'm like, okay.
As a member of the volunteer fleet of the United Colonies, we do not just arrest for no reason. That's a you problem.
It's not
you dropped the landmine.
All right, no, this was a different playthrough than the landmine, actually. No, that was my favorite interaction in the whole game. This dude's like, yeah, I have this olive seed. Do you want to go plant it in the office? And I was like, a weird request, but okay. And I take his olive seed. And he's like, just don't let the guards find out. And I turn around, literally haven't walked away from him, and there's a guard standing right there. And he's like, hey, what's that? I'm like, it's an olive seed, and it's the dude who's like, oh, all right, thanks. You shouldn't put litter on the streets. And like the conspiracy dude just like, geez, wow, you just gave it right up. And I was like, bro, you shouldn't have given me contraband like 2 feet from a guard. What are you doing? Come on.
Oh, let's see. What are your overall what are your overall characters in the game? Mine is a former combat medic. Crap, what else did I pick? Combat medic, extrovert, which is not me at all. But I was like, yeah, why not? It sounds fun. Honestly, I mostly picked that because it didn't have like debuffs when you're traveling alone, which I usually try not to travel alone. I usually try to travel with a companion because it's more fun. That's basically it. I enlisted into the volunteer navy as my role, so that's fun. But
I'm an explorer and I'm helping with science. And as soon as I bring down this pirate gang and serve out my sentence or whatever the heck is happening, I'm gonna finish doing science, and then I'm gonna start pushing the bounds of exploration.
Let's see. There's more questions. I'm trying to read them. Best vendor you found? Definitely the dude who actually sells ammo. It's very overpriced, but
it is very overpriced. But it's the one dude that sells ammo that I found in the whole game.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think there's a dude on the Crimson Fleet station that sells it. but he is more expensive than a dude in the well.
Oh.
So
Nice.
yeah, there's like a clothes vendor on New Atlantis that's pretty fun. He's very like avant-garde. He straight up insults your outfit like as soon as you walk in the door.
Yeah. Nice. Let's see. Overall character goals. What is your character trying to accomplish? Honestly, I do this with every single playthrough of like an RPG game. I go with like the like positive, law-abiding, good route. Mass Effect. I've played Mass Effect 4 times, and I still can't avoid that. I'm gonna play Mass Effect, and I'm gonna play Starfield at some point, going just like absolutely ballistic, like
Full renegade
evil.
mode.
Yeah, evil playthrough.
Oh yeah, I will be doing one where I'm either a pirate or a smuggler. I haven't decided yet, but this round, no, there's too much out there to see.
Bro just wants to live in Star Trek.
I'm like Anakin. You know, there's a million stars out there. I'm gonna be the first one to see them all.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'm gonna go find all the stars.
Nice.
You know something with the marketing for this game. I like to make fun of Warhammer because like every single time they release any sort of like marketing, it says in the grim darkness of the far future there is only war, like every single time. And Starfield is getting to that place where every single thing I have ever seen them put out starts with like in the vast expanse of the endless field of stars. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it, that's the name of the game. Like, you don't need to say it in every trailer.
You know what? Something I did here today. I don't know. I don't know exactly which ones because obviously I haven't watched that much Star Trek yet. But it's a lot of Star Trek actors and actresses that do characters in this.
I'll have to look that up. That's cool. I think I heard the voice of Harry
Cowboy
Kim.
guy.
Cowboy guy.
I don't know who that is. But there's a guy that wears like cowboy hat in the game. He's a Star Trek actor, I think.
Oh,
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Not familiar with a cowboy Star Trek character, but
cowboy Star Trek character. Yeah. Will you be building a party or crew? I already have a crew. It's with this guy. That's what that guy. That's the only party you need. He loves me. He's gonna be writing a 437 volume biography about me. He said.
That's a little excessive.
That's what he said.
I found my man Omari, the very wholesome family man shield technician, that told me he wants no part in this pirate mission. And I was like, bro, me either. But we here. That's my first.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I could technically have what's her face, Sarah. I almost said Sarah Brooks. That's not right. Sarah. What is her name? Sarah.
Wrong game, something. Wrong universe.
The Lara Croft character. God, what is her name? The archaeologist. I know it's Sarah. Sarah something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I could have her on my ship, but I don't. I don't want her on my ship.
Yeah.
She has the same skills that I do. There's no reason I have her.
Big rip. I want a bigger crew. I'm trying to save up for the ship where you can have like I don't know. I think that shield breaker ship has like a lot of crew slots.
Mm-hmm. Just 4.
So yeah, I'm trying to save up for that. So I'm gonna have a bigger crew.
Yeah, that's something kind of cool. I don't know if you float around with crew very much, but like my shield tech guy, like he passively is just always regenerating my shields for me.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Yeah, and like we'll repair them when they take damage. So that is pretty nice.
Unfortunately, this guy doesn't do much.
He's just there.
Except he sleeps in my bed. I go on the ship occasionally. He's just like conked out in the bed. So
just creep.
There's that. But yeah, no, literally this guy. I think he's actually a trait that you pick. But
yeah,
I saw the trait and I'm like, I have to. and I was doing like the recruitment stuff for Vanguard, and I was like finishing it up, and I was talking to the commander or whatever, and I like turn around, he's just standing there, and he's like, "It's really, really you."
Can you like take him on missions and stuff, or does he just exist?
I think he just exists. Like, he is a crew member on the ship. Like, he does have skills. I just don't think they're useful. But I don't know. I haven't figured that part out. You can kill him. There are numerous ways I've found to kill him already, or otherwise ban him from the ship. But I'm not doing
Not
that.
that he's looking. Not that he's looking.
I did well because like you could tell him like his obsession with you is unhealthy, and like kick him off the ship. But look at this face. You can't tell me. You can't tell me you're not gonna leave that face on the ship.
I have a new answer for my favorite NPC too. I forgot about her. She's the bartender in the Viewport bar in New Atlantis. I just really enjoy her character, and she gives you a quest that is honestly pretty humorous. She's like, I have this new ingredient for a drink, but it got locked up in customs, and I need somebody to go get it. And yeah, can you go break into customs for me? So, I've broken into customs and got her a drink, and she's like, yes. So I like her a lot.
Nice.
She's very fun. I was going to stop to talk to her on my way back to deliver that tree branch to the scientist, and then I got arrested. So I'll be doing that when I finish the Crimson Fleet quest line, which I'm hoping to do tonight. I wanna get that done so I can get back to playing the game the way I actually want to play.
Get back to not being tired.
Yeah, get back to actually playing the play style I would like to play, please.
There's a lot of ways you can get into Crimson Fleet. I know you can get arrested by them. I'm doing a completely different mission than you're doing, and it's getting me into Crimson Fleet. So there must be a lot of ways.
Aren't you going undercover with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the system defense people.
I'm doing it with the
UCS
United Colonies people.
Yeah, it's UCS. UC.
Oh, is that the same thing?
Defense or something. Well, yeah, I think it's the same quest line. I've just been forced into it.
I don't know. Maybe that's the same.
Because I have Commander. I can't remember his name either. Is that
like a Conde?
Yeah, Commander Conde. Yeah, I'm working with him and his lieutenant lady, who's very eager to see the Crimson Fleet brought down for some reason or whatever. Yeah, same quest line, just very different circumstances. But again, attests to how different the game can be, because they do not trust me at all, and they're like, yeah, no, so we just brought you in here to, because someone with your skill sets, clearly you're involved in criminal activities already. I'm like, bro, you put that spice on my ship. And they're like, no, clearly you're involved in criminal activities already, so you'll be a perfect fit for the pirates. And I was like, okay. Yeah, whatever. And then they have the gall to be surprised when I was like, I'd like some money for this, and they're like, what, you won't do it out of the goodness of your heart? I'm like, bro, you arrested me and are forcing me to do this quest. No, I'm not doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I'm sorry. You've exhausted that particular trait.
Lucas is a little salty. That's what your wife said.
I am a little salty about this Crimson Fleet quest, man. I did not want to do
it. Oh, man. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm ready to, get back to it.
Yeah, same. I'm glad we did this. It was a nice little. We'll revisit this in a couple weeks. Probably do another Starfield themed episode a couple weeks after we've played it a significant amount more, and giving other people time to play it, and we'll kind of reevaluate our thoughts and what we think. But yeah, solid game so far.
Yeah, top notch. Really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out. And we'll see you next time. Gotta work on that outro, but we'll see you next time on GGCast. Quick.